Hello to you newcomers and welcome back subscribers. This is Big Baby Props and I'm the Big Baby. Today we're going to be doing a little experiment with this Captain Phasma helmet. Now it needs to be chrome obviously, but I'm going to test two different ways to get the best chrome look. One's kind of cheap. Here we have this just Rust-Oleum metallic silver paint rattlecan. It's about the closest I could get to an actual chrome. They wouldn't call it chrome, but the cap on here looks pretty chrome to me. Now on the other hand, we have this airbrush here. This cost me around $80 on Amazon, and the paint that we're going to be using around $15. So you're looking at a price comparison of like $5 to $100. Now the airbrush paint that I'm going to be using is called Alcad 2. So this helmet has been 3D printed. I got the files off Thingiverse. I'll be sure to leave a link to that in the description. It's been sanded and smoothed. I'll be sure and link to my other video explaining my process behind that. And it's black because after reading the Alcad 2 directions, it says it works best on a glossy black surface. So I went ahead and did it for both sides, just to be fair. So with that out of the way, let's get painting. First up, we're going to do the rattle can. Applying this stuff is about as easy as it comes. Just be sure and stay far enough away that you're not causing smears or runs. And take it slowly. Okay, that's about it. I might let it dry for an hour or two and then come back and do a second coat, but otherwise pretty straightforward. It doesn't look too bad, obviously. It's not quite chrome, but it's shiny enough. So next we're going to do the airbrush side and see how that compares. All right, now we're going to do the airbrush method. A few things before we start. You want to be sure and do this stuff outside because this Alcad 2 is very smelly and not good for you. You also want to tune your air compressor to around 10 to 12 PSI. That's very light compared to some other airbrush paints. So just go ahead and take your paint and add a little bit into the chamber. Close it back up. Oops. And then we're ready to start. So I'm starting to see a little bit of reflectiveness in the paint. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm really glad we're outside because this stuff smells. All right, the paint's almost out, but just looking at it, it's got a very different finish compared to the spray paint. It's a lot more, well, it looks a lot more chrome so far, but it's a lot less bright. So I'm gonna probably do a couple more layers just to see if it gets brighter with each layer, and then I'll get back to you guys. Uh-oh. Looks like it's out. Okay guys, went through a few layers. This is what it looks like so far. So let's take it inside and have a closer look. Okay guys, here we are for the final comparison. On this side, we've got the cheapo spray paint. You can see it, it's definitely metallic and definitely silver, but just doesn't look exactly like Captain Phasma, you know? Now on the other hand, we've got the Alcad 2. I felt like it did much better. It actually looks chrome. You can kind of see your own reflection in it. Kinda. But it definitely comes closer to the original character than just the cheap spray paint. I used about, almost half the bottle, doing about 3 layers on the Alcad side. So if you've got some extra scratch, you might want to pick up 2 bottles if you're doing a bigger project. Otherwise, 1 bottle can get you pretty far on small stuff. So as a final test, I'm going to peel away the paint. I don't know if it'll work or if it'll show the difference any better, but we're going to do it. So if you look closely, you can see spray paint side, airbrush side. Just how clear and superior the airbrush side is compared to the spray paint side. So, unsurprisingly, the more expensive option yields better results. So, like I said, if you've got some extra money, you might consider getting an airbrush for anything you want to make chrome. Otherwise, I try and stick to rattle cans because they're cheap, they're easy to use, and they're everywhere. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.